up, my bitches? If you are new here, hello, my name is Brittany. How's everybody doing today? Today I'm super excited because I'm going to be sharing with you guys the new Kaleidos Flower Punk collection. I got this in PR. I got it yesterday, so if you guys missed it yesterday, I wore this in, because you guys know, we do new makeup releases every single Monday, and I wore this actually in yesterday's video. You can see it right here. She looking so cute. So I'm actually going to show you guys exactly how I got that look yesterday because I did actually film it. I was prepared for once. So I'm going to show you guys how I got that look. I'm going to do another look using the new Flower Punk eyeshadow palette. First of all, just take a moment. Can we look at that color story? I'm going to let you guys know my thoughts and opinions because I did use this yesterday. I have not used the Blue Agave Softening Lip Mask. I haven't used this yet. And then there's also liquid lipsticks as well. They come in these cute-ass little tins. First of all, can we just talk about how Kaleidos fucking murders it when it comes to their packaging? Because I opened this box and I'm like, oh my god, it's such a vibe. It's so cute. I think this retails, though, for like $45. The quality of it is pretty nice. Like, it's a cardboard packaging. I'm like, would I necessarily run out and buy it? Probably not. But if you're buying, like, the entire collection, we'll get into it. So, they do sell all these pieces individually, or they sell bundles. We'll get into pricing and everything like that. There's a little coloring book. If you got kids at home, look how cute. Oh, it's white. You're probably not going to be able to see it that well. But it's so cute. Kaleidos just does the absolute most when it comes to their packaging. And then there's even like, I don't know if these are tattoos or stickers, but I think they're, yes, they're tattoos. Such a vibe. Guys, I'm such a big fan of Kaleidos. I've done videos on their products before. If you guys want, I have a dedicated playlist to Kaleidos. I don't have a ton from them, but I also want to showcase some comparison palettes because when I first saw this, I'm over here like, does this not remind you of Melt Cosmetics? I'm not trying to be shady or anything like that. That's just my honest opinion about it. Like, when I first seen it, between the layouts, the colors, and everything, I'm like, I see like a mixture of MUERTE, She's in Parties, and then I actually don't have it. I don't have either one of them, but I thought of like the 420 palette or the Gemini palette. So I'm over here like, I don't have, I mean, two of those four palettes, but I do have MUERTE and I do have She's in Party. So I'm going to show you some comparisons today. I forgot to grab them out beforehand, so I'll have to grab those later. But I want to do those, and then I want to show you some swatches of the lip products. So actually, let's do, it's motorcycle season, baby. You're probably going to hear those in the background. But let me show you first. I'll start with the lip products because I think the main focus of today's video will be the eyeshadow because I think that's what most people are really excited about is the palettes. So let me start with the Kaleidos Cloud Lab Lip Clay. This is going to be the Sandcastle. There's two different tints. So this one's going to be the more nude of the two. So I was actually wearing the shade Dune, I think it was called yesterday, NU02 Dune. This packaging is so stinking cute. I'm going to do swatches. I'm not going to do lip swatches. I'll probably apply one of these later just so it like completes the look, but I'm not sure which one I want to use. So I'm going to give you guys some swatches. Look at this applicator. I love this like tulip head applicator simply because it's easier for me to align, and it's just, I don't know, I love the way that it disperses the product. It doesn't over apply it, but it holds just enough. So this first one is NU01 Adobe, and I'll just give you guys some hand swatches. These, honestly, to me, I'm like, when I swatched them yesterday, I'm like, there really isn't a ton of variety within these ones. So let me see what these retail for. This little tin of 4 liquid lipsticks, you could buy them as a set or you can buy them individually. So the Sandcastle retails for $35 and then the full set retails for $62. So I'm actually going to pull this up on the screen just so you guys can see what I'm talking about here. This is right from the Kaleidos website. It's got the ingredients. It's got all that stuff. Most people don't give a shit about that. So if you guys want to look into it, it is already available to view over on the website. This formula, to me, it's definitely like a moussey consistency to it. It's not extremely pigmented, but since it's like, it almost reminds me of like suede on the lips. This is NU03 Terra. It reminds me of I'm gonna say like a more sheer version of like maybe Ofra Cosmetics. It's not drying whatsoever, but it's also not super long lasting in my opinion either. And then this is NU04 Sienna. I think these are beautiful shades. I like that they did the two separate collections because the other collection is a little bit more out there. There's like a blue, more vibrant color. So these are the nudes right here. I think the formula is insanely comfortable, and I just overall love the packaging and everything. And it's like tin packaging. This is really nice, and it's just, I don't know, like I initially when I first like opened it, I was like, oh my god, I could use these as like little jewelry boxes because they're definitely like a vibe for me. I just think they're really cute. I just think one of my favorite things about Kaleidos is their packaging. I just think that they absolutely nail it. So that was the first, what was it, the Sandcastle collection. And it usually comes like, this had like plastic wrap around the side. It had this little sticker on the plastic wrap. I just threw it on here just so I remembered which one was which. And then you have this other one here. I love this. This whole, I love the colors. It's so colorful and so fun. And then this packaging is super cute. It has like a, I'm trying to think of like the texture of like the packaging itself. It almost reminds me of like the NARS, how it's got that like soft touch feel to it. You know what I'm saying? So this one is DE01 Cactus Flower. I have not tried these ones at all yet. I'll probably do like lip swatches over on my TikTok. Oh my god, that is a perfect spring color. Oh, it reminds me of Dose of Colors meets Jeffree Star. It's definitely smaller, but I could see what you're saying, definitely. It's a little bit thinner as well. I know they have a little bit more of the chunky packaging. And then we have DE02 Agave. So this was $35 for this one as well. So same price between the two, or like I said earlier, you can get the bundle for $62. Or you could buy the entire collection all together if that's something that you're into. I'm over here like, I just want to put that all over my lips. But you could probably see right there like the sheerness. But it's so easy to build. Like I had no issues, just continue to build and build and build. I don't know if a lot of people will love that. Like I'm one of those people that I typically do like, just like swipe it on and it's done. But as long as it's comfortable on the lips, that's not going to really bother me that much. And then this is DE03 Mahogany. This shade looks so pretty. Oh my god. The chocolate brown of it all. Oh my god, that is going to be so pretty on the lips. And then the last one here is DE04 Dahlia. I haven't opened this one yet either. This one looks more of like a berry tone. So you could definitely see how, I can't do anything with my left hand, oh my god. So you could definitely see how the vibes are totally different between, between the two collections. So we have Sandcastle over here, and then what's the exact name of this one? I can't remember the exact name of the blue one. Let me check really quick for you guys. Let me pull it up. It's FLORA Noir. That's such a pretty name. I love that. So here you go. There it is on the screen for you guys. So that's $35. Would I run out and buy this whole collection? I mean, if these are appealing to you, I would just be mindful, like, okay, they're not going to have the most intense pigmentation, but they're very buildable, very comfortable. Like, when you put them on your lips, it has, like, that suede feeling, like I was saying, but it's not, like, too heavy. It's not, I don't know, it's, like, light and airy, if anything. That's what I thought of. So there's one more for the show. And then I'm going to wipe these off, and you'll be able to see they'll stain like a little bit, but eventually, like as you keep rubbing, they'll come off. Let's do this side as well. This is just one of those Costco makeup wipes. So it's like you have to work with it quite a bit to get it to come off. I think if I was to choose between the two, I would probably go for the deeper one, simply because I think the shades are a little bit more unique. And I like this packaging better, so that's just me in my humble opinion. So, were you guys even interested in, like, the lip products? I've tried Kaleidos lip products before. I've tried only, like, the liquid lipsticks, and I wasn't the biggest fan, but I do like that formula much better. So, once I get the eye look done, I'll probably go back and apply one of those. So, I think the star of the show is the palette. So, let's do actually first the Kaleidos, the Blue Agave Softening Lip Mask. Now, let's see what this retails for really quick. This retails for $8. So it's not going to break the bank. Again, if you want to see all the the claims and stuff like that, people usually don't give a shit. The first thing I always do with lip products, I'm like, let's see how it smells. Mrs. Unnecessary asked, do they fade well? I didn't really notice a really big amount of fading. I think, if anything, because our video yesterday was like an hour long, I would go and watch, like, check how it looks in the beginning, because I'm talking for like an hour straight. I did think that it wore off, but it was still there, and it feels like it still looked really good. It felt really good. I was overall really impressed. I was just like, all right, I don't think this is going to be, like, ideal for underneath mask. I think it's going to transfer. So I'll get into that, like, when I actually apply it. I'll do, like, a little kiss test and stuff. But the first thing I did with this, I'm like, all right, how does it smell? This really does not have a scent to it, at least that I noticed from, like, when you first open it. I'm, like, working my finger in there to see if a smell kind of comes out. If anything, this feels almost like, I don't know, it's got like a, let me take this off the screen just so you guys can really see, like, what I'm talking about. It's got a very, like, lip mask sort of a vibe to it. So I'm gonna put this on. It's very thin. It's not, like, thick and creamy. It's very, like, liquidy once you work your finger into it. Yes, I have, like, foundation all over my lips, so they're gonna look disgusting. We're not judging. That feels very nice on my lips. We're gonna keep that on for now, and we'll see how it wears. I noticed something, like, I noticed a taste in my mouth. It's almost like on my tongue, I feel a cooling sensation. Just, like, right on the tip where it touched my lips. I'll keep you posted on how that goes. So, let's dive in. Let's just move over to the eyeshadow palette. I'll show you first. Let me zoom out a little bit. Let me show you first the look that I did yesterday, because I do have some thoughts on this already just from using it for the first time. So here's the overall look of the eyeshadow palette. So if you guys saw yesterday's video, you saw me do this look right here. So the first shade I used was Mint Fever. I used this with the Refer number 2. I just basically stabbed it right in my crease. This is how I always do my eyeshadow looks now. This one, I went very easy at first, and then I don't know, it was just like I didn't want to over apply it. And then the next shade I went in with was Chlorophyll. This, it blended out really nicely. They didn't apply patchy or anything like that. I feel like the colors worked really well together. And then I went in with Earthship. Earthship was the shade that I had a little bit more difficulty with. I don't know what it is about, like, greens in this tone, but they just are a little bit more difficult for me. I feel like I have to go in and, like, finesse them quite a bit to get them to look the exact way that I want them to. And then I went in with Aloe Cove. You'll see me applying it with my finger at first. I think this applies beautifully with a finger, but I do think it applies even better when, like, basically if you apply it first with your finger and then go in after the fact with, like, a wet brush, or if you put it on your brush and then spray it, I think it looks a little bit more shiny and a little bit more reflective. It almost, like, pulls through the, like, sparkles just a little bit more, and then you see me just kind of building that Earthship just a little bit more, and I use that also on my lower lash line. It's overall, for using it for the first time, like, greens tend to be a little bit tricky for me, but you can kind of see, like, I'm having to go back and build and build and build, and then I use the Space Age Prophecy highlighter for my inner corner highlight. This overall, it looked stunning. I just felt like I had to work with it quite a bit to get it to look exactly how you guys saw it yesterday. Like, it wasn't, like, a super easy sort of an application, but I overall was able to make it work. But I did notice after my video, like when I was taking my makeup pictures and stuff, I did notice, because I used yesterday the Gerard Cosmetics Clean Canvas Eye Base. I usually don't have any issues with this as far as, like, creasing or anything like that. I did notice that I was getting creasing with these eyeshadows yesterday. So that's one thing I'm just going to be mindful of. That, I mean, it could have been because I used the shade medium yesterday and this one was a little bit older. It could be this, but then again, I noticed it especially with the shade Aloe Cove, which is going to be the metallic. So this, I feel like you guys have probably seen, like, swatches and stuff like that, so I'll just run through these really quickly. I'll just go in the order that they are in the actual palette. If you are used to Kaleidos, right? If you've tried their formula before, these to me, they feel pretty similar. I think especially the mattes feel pretty similar to what they typically do. Where I was like, okay, I don't know if this is necessarily the same, is I don't know if their metallics, I would say, are what they typically are. And I only say that because I think their matte or their metallics are one of my favorite because they just have like a certain uniqueness to them. So it's like they swatch beautifully, especially, oh my god, look at this shade here, Sun Gazer. They do swatch beautifully. But when I swatched these, this was just like my honest first impression of this. I'm like, I don't think of Kaleidos, I think of Melt Cosmetics. And if you know, if you know how I feel about Melt Cosmetics, I am one of those people that I have like a love-hate relationship with them. So I just saw that somebody asked how much this palette is. The palette retails for $36. I'll get into more pricing towards the end of the video. So this is all the information on the palette. You could already see it on the website. So $36, I'm like, all right, I don't think that's a bad price point, especially for a pretty unique color story. Another thing I thought of, aside from Melt Cosmetics, I'm like, I initially was like, Angie's palette, the Club Nebula palette with Kaleidos that's already been done. It's not, like, I feel like I get, like, similar vibes, but I don't think they're necessarily, like, the exact same, you know what I'm saying? So overall, here's the swatches. I'm just going to show you how I actually apply this shit. Sound good? So I'm going to use, I use my Refer brushes. These are just, like, my go-to for my eye looks. I'll let you guys know the ones that I use. You get it. Where's my mirror? I'm going to hope for the best. Hopefully this works out a little bit easier than it was for me yesterday, because I did have a little bit of a difficult time yesterday. I'm not going to lie. It's just one of those things that I should preface this by saying, like, I'm not the most well-versed when it comes to colorful eyeshadows. If you're familiar with me, hang on, I gotta get a paper towel real quick. If you're familiar with me, I am a neutral bitch. I love neutral eyeshadows. I have to clean off my mirror. So for me, I'm going to be honest and just say, I would strongly recommend, like, if this is a color story that speaks to you, there's other creators out there that are way more well-versed with colorful eyeshadow than I am. So, let's just dive in. The color that I want to work with a lot today is these purples. Just because I'm like, alright, I used the greens yesterday. I want to see what the purples have to offer me, and you guys saw me just use the greens as well. So I want to get, like, the most variety, like, the best bang for your buck for you guys watching. So let's go in first with, I think I'm going to start with my Refer 13 today. I'm going to wipe this off. I'm just wiping it on my pants because I'm a savage. Let's see. For some reason, I was expecting it to be more expensive. That doesn't really surprise me, especially considering, like, I don't know, I feel like I initially was like, I'm expecting it to be the same price as Melt Cosmetics. But one thing to mention, some people just want to know, these are made in the PRC. I don't see, this doesn't have, like, any information on the back of the palette. So let me rephrase. I believe that this is made in the PRC. Typically their palettes are. So there's that. It doesn't say, like, how much product. I don't know if the website might say it, but we're not going to waste time on that. It's like, if you want to know ingredients and stuff like that, I would just recommend check out the website. There's probably more information on there. Overall, I want you guys to see how I use this stuff. So in the event that you are new, you're watching this live, baby, or you're watching the playback. I personally like to do videos like this in live format because you're going to see the entire process. So I'm using the shade Peach Soju. On camera, it looks a little bit lighter than it is in person. I will say, this palette in real life is so beautiful. I think it's stunning. These are a little bit dusty, but I don't find that they're difficult to work with. Like, when I say dusty, it's like when I apply it, I could see, like, the pigment kind of just going, that's what I mean by dusty. It's not like everything just applies right there. So there's the shade Peach Soju. I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. We'll give you the whole shebang. We'll do a whole eye look just so you guys can see a completed look. So again, I'm using the Rephr 13. This is like my favorite brush of all time, especially if you have hooded eyes. How does my skin look today, guys? I'm using a new foundation, and I don't think I'm the biggest fan of it, but I'll keep you guys posted in a future video. Let's see. Oh, Angie did a video using all the 8 shades. Like, she's one of the channels that I'm like, if you want to see colorful inspo, she is a fantastic channel for that. However, I will say, like, when you're using all 8 shades, to me, that's not realistic, like, as far as, like, how I would typically do my eyeshadow. But I think that's a good way to see, like, a taste of it. But overall, like, I saw Angie did a video, I saw Karen did a video, I saw Patty Alonso has done a video. You're going to start seeing more videos. It's just one of those things, just like watch videos if it's something that you're interested in. See what people come up with, see what people's opinions are, and also consider what people's preferences are as well. Just because, like, if I did not get this sent to me in PR, I don't think I would have purchased this simply because this isn't what I typically go for. You know what I'm saying? So it just comes down to a preference thing. But I think a lot of people are really excited about this. So when I got this in PR, I was super grateful because I'm like, all right, even though I'm not the most well-versed with, you know, like these colorful eyeshadow palettes, I was happy to see like these pink / more like mauvey tones in here because this is my wheelhouse. This is where I live. I can fucks with this. And it's overall, like, I really like Kaleidos. I really like their formulas. I really like their, just everything that they do. I've really enjoyed so far that I've tried from them. I mean, there are some dud products for me, in my opinion, but I'm going to show you guys a product, like, if you guys are purchasing. I've talked about it in previous videos. It's like, if you're planning on purchasing from Kaleidos, you better get a freaking highlighter from them because they're stunning. Oh, let's see. So this shade is applying actually much better than that deeper green. That deeper green did not layer like that yesterday. It took a lot more work. It took a lot more finessing, and I'm just going to leave it like that. And then I'm going to go back to the Rephr 14 or 13. And then I just want to blend this edge real quick just to get these two to look a little bit more. That's not the brush that I want to use. I want to use my 14 because this one's a little bit fluffier. Oh, let's see. Cat said, I like the formula being available in the colors I compare with other palettes. Yeah, I think this is a great, like, sister type palette. It gives you that variety, and it's a really unique color story for my collection. And I like the fact that the price point isn't outrageous. So it's like, you're not having to invest a shit ton of money in like a more out there type color story, you know what I mean? This is working so much better for me than it was yesterday. So I ultimately thought, like, the green shades, the only one that I was like, I don't know if I love that, is the deepest one, which is fine. Let's see, but I understand why made in Italy and USA is more money. Yeah, you're definitely paying for that as a portion of it. Oh, I picked up the Gucci foundation because it looks so good on you. I'm loving it. Girl, that Gucci foundation is 10 out of 10. It's so, so nice. Yes, like that. Yes. Yes, bitch, love that for me. All right, now I want to use the shade Stained Glass. This has like a slight like shift to it, but it's not anything super intense. It almost reminds me of like the Vibrant Multi-Chrome bundle from CLIONADH. So I'm going to apply it first with my finger, and then I'll go over the top and wet it just to see what a difference it makes with this shade, because with the, what was it, Aloe Cove, I noticed a big difference in like the poppiness of it. See, this would be an eye look I would get so down for it. I would get so, so down for. Just because it's like, it's still like natural, but it's got that just different element to it. You got the duochrome, looks really pretty. I'm fucking here for it. Carolina asked how I feel about the packaging of this. I initially saw it when we were talking about it in new makeup releases, and I saw that the packaging of this, it's like the, basically like casing. So the top of the palette actually comes off, so it's magnetic. I initially was like, I don't like that at all. Having this in real life, though, I don't mind it nearly as much because it still can, like, I don't know, it's like you could keep it there, but overall, I just take it off. I'm like, all right, I don't need it. I'll just do this. And then I just set it down. It really doesn't bother me as much as I thought it would. So I don't mind that aspect of it at all because, like, it's flat, it's thin. This is beautiful. It's got that, like, mirror type finish. It is really pretty. I don't, because I know I've had other palettes that, like, DD Signature comes to mind, where they have the, like, the tops that just, like, lay on the top. This one has a more, like, heavy magnet to it, so it's not, like, flopping all over. Like, it always ends up grabbing, you know? It's not my favorite, but it doesn't bother me as much as I thought it would. And I typically love Kaleidos packaging anyways. That's just one aspect of Kaleidos. I'm like, I feel like they do really invest their money into the packaging. So that's one thing I do really like. I'm using my ESUM W23, and I'm just going to spray that a little bit. And then I just want to go over the top just to see if it really changes anything. I think it's just going to be on camera probably pretty minute, but in person, you just see that little bit of extra with the, like, pops of the sparkle, and it makes it a little bit more metallic. But I don't feel like this is really necessary. I think it still looks beautiful even just with a finger. That's just me in my opinion. At least the shade Aloe Cove, I'm like, I think that was prettier with spraying it, but I don't think you need to do that either. Maybe if you want it a little bit more intense, you could use a glitter glue. I can't be bothered. I actually don't have one, so that's always my excuse. I'm like, I just don't have one. So I never use a glitter glue, but I think that if you do use a glitter glue, it will probably help with the creasing that I was talking about earlier that I experienced yesterday. So maybe to be on the safe side, I would recommend it. Yeah, I do notice, like, a little bit more pop. Just a little bit more. All right. Sky's Beauty saying, girl, invest in that next glitter glue. I know. It's just one of those things I'm like, I don't need it. I do want to comment, though, really quick on the fallout situation. Really don't have any. I'm just going to do Refer, what is this, the Refer number 2 with the shade Novu. I'm not sure how to pronounce that. I'm just going to run this underneath my lower lash line. This has become like a staple brush in my collection. I didn't even think that I was going to like this brush initially. But, I mean, these definitely have pigmentation to them. They're not really that difficult to work with. And overall, like, I like the color story. I like the undertones. I like the flexibility that it has. And since I don't have certain palettes that I initially thought of when I saw this palette, the 420 and the Gemini from Melt, I was even more excited. So I'm going to go in with Peach Soju with my Refer 13 and just blend this. This is how I always, like, set my under eyes. I just put my my eyeshadows down here, and it covers up my eye wrinkles. Love that for me. So how are we feeling about this look? I think it looks beautiful. This looks like a look that I would wear, like, on a day-to-day. The only thing that would be nice to have in this palette is a lighter shade for, like, my inner corner and my brow bone. But since I have, you know, all the Space Age highlighters, guys, if you place an order on Kaleidos and you don't get one of these, I'm coming for you, because they are truly spectacular. These, oh my god, I almost said eyeshadows. They're not eyeshadows. These are so beautiful. What shade do I want to use today? Do I want to use Star Surfer? I love these so much because they have the most beautiful, like, reflect to them. Like, when you look at them, you're like, there's nothing special, but bitch, they're so pretty. I'm going to put, what shade was this? Star Surfer. I'm going to use this one today. It looks like a baby pink. They just have the most beautiful pop to them. And they're sparkly, but they're not too sparkly. They're intense. Like, these are going to be like, I'm going to blind you, bitch. But they don't really accentuate texture as much as you would expect for being such a more like glittery type of formula. Look how beautiful that pairs with that look right there. See, like a shade like this in this palette would have been 10 out of 10. But since I have all the highlighters, I don't need it. Because boom. We got our brow bone in our corner, and then we're also going to put this on the face as well so you guys can see this in action, because I'm telling you, these are beautiful. From what brand is the Little Brush 13? It's the brand Refer. I have them linked in the description box. I have also this collection linked. It's not affiliate or anything like that. It's just when it drops on the 5th. Because it drops at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on May 5th. So that link is directly down below, and it will take you to all the products that you're seeing me apply today. You'll see everything from the coloring book, you'll see the whole shebang. So just look at how beautiful it is. I have a lot of texture right here on my face, and it's like, you could definitely still see the texture, but some of these just have the most beautiful shift and sheen to them. They're just so special. I love these. I love this shade with this look. It looks so pretty. Have you read Kaleidos reviews on Reddit? Lots of complaints. Listen, I stay the fuck off of Reddit because so toxic. I personally have had great experiences with Kaleidos. I mean, I do receive them in PR, but I have purchased things and I've had great experiences, so that's all I could say. I've had no negative experiences from them whatsoever, and you can't fake this live. I'm just saying. You can't fake the quality of a product, and if something is trash, please believe I will be the one to tell you, because, I mean, it doesn't make a difference to me. I'm just saying. So there is, I'm putting a little bit more of the Novu just to get this to kind of blend a little bit better for my liking. Let's see, I think the highlighters look a lot nicer on the inner corner. Oh, it is an eyeshadow. Wait, I think highlighters look a lot nicer in the inner corner than eyeshadow. Oh, okay. I'm like, I'm reading that totally wrong right now. So there's that. Oh, shipping time, I have heard that. I think now it's better. But yes, I do remember hearing about shipping time being a little problematic for some people. I mean, it's just like a risk you take, I feel like, these days. Like, how many indie brands are we pre-ordering from that take like months? You know what I'm saying? I think it's important, like, all right, listen to reviews, be mindful of it, and then just overall have your own experience, because especially this past year, I don't know, I've never had issues. That's all I could really speak on, is my personal experience. Let's see. I've had great experiences overall, even if the shipping takes a while, even when things are missing. Kaleidos customer service is responsive and fixes things. That's great to hear. Like, I like hearing the positive and negative. But as far as from like you guys, when I've reviewed Kaleidos before, I've never heard people say bad things. So I don't doubt that they've had like piss poor customer service or piss poor shipping time. I don't doubt that, just because I feel like, what brand doesn't at this point? Not that that makes it right. I'm just saying, it's just one of those things. Like, even if I've had poor customer service from companies, I'll still give them like the benefit of the doubt. If it's like a repetitive thing though, then yeah, I'm gonna have some shit to say about it. I'm just throwing on my Scott Barnes, my pumped up mascara. I can't wait to see when all his new shit is gonna launch, because I'm ready for it. My body is so ready. Let's see. Yeah, Mrs. Unnecessary said, I say find creators whose opinion you trust. That's always important. But it all comes down to, too, I could be like, listen, I think this is beautiful. I think it's great. I think it's this. I think it's that. but you could have a totally different thing. It's just one of those things, man. It's like, watch reviews if you want. If you're ultimately interested in something, just fucking buy it for yourself and see if you like it. And then if you don't, customer service is there. You know what I'm saying? Let's see. Kaleidos takes as long as Juvia's for people in Ireland. Deaf for Americans, I guess we're just used to... Yes, we are spoiled. Like, Americans are so spoiled between shipping times and free shipping. I've had that conversation with people from other countries. They're like, listen, that's not a thing here. They don't ever get free shipping. I never tried Kaleidos. I think they're great. I think they're great quality for a good price. Their pricing isn't like so out there. You know what I keep saying, you know what I'm saying. I think you guys are all picking up what I'm putting down. All right, let me grab. Hopefully I didn't lose it. I forgot to grab these before I got started. Figures. Me always coming so prepared to the videos, guys. I'm looking for my melt palettes and my other Kaleidos palette that I was thinking of. So I'm going to first grab. I'm going to grab them all at once so I don't have to do this again later. Ooh, that was a shift in lighting right there. Enjoy the background for the time being while I'm searching for my Club Nebula palette, because it should be in this drawer here. Because this is the palette. This is their... Let's wait for it to adjust. This is one of their newest palettes. And then I also wanted to pull Melt, Cheese and Parties. This one's hiding on me. Let's wait for it to adjust. Adjust. Take your time. If you're watching the playback, I apologize. I'm not prepared. All right. We've adjusted. We look normal. Here we go. So I pulled out the MUERTE palette, which everyone gets so pissed whenever I pull this out. But I wanted to pull this because I saw these two shades. Those two shades there. And then the Cheese and Parties. And I feel like you just look at this palette and... Cat. She's bend and snap. Bend and snap. I pulled this palette as well. Looking at them and like... without comparing them side by side, they're not at all the same. Let me just say that. They're not at all the same. But in the event that, especially if you wanted the Cheese and Parties, or not Cheese and Parties, the MUERTE, so look at. I feel like that's initially where I'm like, all right, if people missed out on that palette, oh shit, I gotta wipe this off my hand because I have to swatch on this side because it's tragic. That shade on my lid, that has such a beautiful duochrome shift to it. I didn't realize that yesterday. This look, it's a look. It's beautiful. All right, let me wipe this off real quick, and then we'll get into some comparison swatches. So let's do Mint Fever and Aloe Cove. These are both from the Kaleidos. And then I'm going to compare these to the Melt Cosmetics. Even this shade here, the Aloe Cove, it's like teal, but it has pink reflex in there. It doesn't really have a like a really intense duochrome shift. I actually, hold the phone. I just thought of a shade that this reminds me of. This reminds me of, is it that one? There's two shades from CLIONADH that shade reminds me of. So I'm going to pull out my CLIONADH palettes as well. Because that one, it does have a really unique shift to it. So let's do Angelito. Oh my god. The frick. I hate the texture. Oh my god, they're so different. Not at all the same. And then Lagrimas, I think is how you pronounce it. This is from the Melt palette. The Melt MUERTE. So Melt MUERTE, this is actually quite a bit deeper, and it's definitely more pigmented. But that's one thing I find with Melt palettes is I usually feel like theirs are really tricky to work with. But there's the two comparisons that I'm like, I thought they would be a lot closer, but the reality is they're not at all the same. So there's that. If you missed out on, I mean, the MUERTE for those two shades, you're going to get something maybe a little bit similar, but not as deep as what you're looking for in the MUERTE. So there's that comparison. Let's do, since we're on that green, I want to take the AGAVE from the Kaleidos, and I want to swatch this next to some CLIONADH, because there's two shades that I'm thinking of. The first one is the Glitter Multichrome in the shade Ripple. I feel like this is a little bit chunkier, but it's got that very similar shift, how it's got like the teal base to it. It's a little chunkier, so the Kaleidos is more smooth than CLIONADH, but along the same lines. I think Ripple is like a really popular one. I do think that the base is a little bit more pigmented in the Kaleidos as well. But look how beautiful these are. Oh, bitch! And then I have another one. This is from... Is it the Vibrant Bundle? The Vibrant Bundle is my favorite from CLIONADH. It is. Hold on. I gotta get the name. I hate touching these because I'm like, I don't want to break them. So from the Vibrant Multichrome Bundle in the shade Lineage, I want to compare this as well. Because these, like, I always say CLIONADH murders it with this line. That's very similar. There is more of like a reflect though. It's not the same, but similar vibes. Let me zoom so you guys could see it hopefully a little bit better. If you know about CLIONADH, you know. But look at how beautiful. So we've got CLIONADH on the bottom too, and then Kaleidos is on the top. So you could see how you see more of a shift with the CLIONADH. I think it's like if these two had a baby, because the Kaleidos is smooth like the Vibrant Bundle, but it's like more true to like Ripple. They're close, but you also have to buy CLIONADH as like singles like this. So there's that. Let's move on to, let's do She's in Parties. I think She's in Parties though is going to be more cool tone than what I have going on right now. Because this would be like a look that I would think I could get from She's in Parties. Except with the shade Stained Glass, you're not going to have this in She's in Parties. That's going to have that dual chrome shift to it. It's a little bit more warm. Because I was thinking that Strange Love was going to be similar, but they're not. They're not. They're not at all. So I'll do Strange Love for shits and gigs. But you're going to, like, not at all similar. And then I'll do Stained Glass underneath it. This shade is so pretty. It almost reminds me of the shade that's in Shasimi City. Maybe I should pull that out as well. See how pretty these are, though? So those are different. And then let's do Novu from Kaleidos. Look how dirty my hands look. They look so dusty right now. I'm going to compare that to Last Caress. This one's going to be deeper. It's this one right here. This one's definitely going to be deeper than what we have going on in Kaleidos. Yep. And then Peach Soju from Kaleidos. Let's do this up here just so we can see it. And I'll compare that. There's no compare. We'll just do Total Immortal for shits and gigs, but it's like totally different vibes. Totally different vibes as far as She's in Parties, you're getting more cool. Whereas Kaleidos, you're getting just a tinge more warmth. The peach shade, Peach Soju, this one right here, that one is a little bit warmer in real life than it looks on camera, just as an FYI. I have nothing really to compare these four to except for the Club Nebula palette. So Club Nebula, this is, I don't think it's available anymore, but this was the last collaboration with Angie from Kaleidos. So I initially was like, all right, let's wipe these off first. I'm seeing if you guys, are there any more like palette comparisons that you guys would want to see? I know it's not a phase. Mom says that CLIONADH though, right? So beautiful. All right, so let me do, I'm going to do these two. They don't look at all the similar, but in the event that you're thinking like, if I have Angie's palette, you know what I'm saying? So we have Aloe Cove here from the new palette. And then I'm going to do the shade Firefly, which was like the soft green metallic from Angie's palette. This is what I'm saying. I feel like this is different. I feel like this formula is just a tiny bit different because I was expecting the metallics to be like this shade here. I like it though. Like I like when I turn my hands like this, you could still see more of my hand underneath. Whereas in the new formula, it has an actual like pigmented base to it. So you could actually use it by itself, not as like a topper. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? How many times can I say that? Drink every time I say, you know what I'm saying? So this was the shade I just compared it to. And then I want to compare Gravity to Chlorophyll. More like Borophyll. I did see that Kaleidos has been doing comparison swatches as well on their Instagram. So I think for even more context between like other palettes that they have, I would say Chlorophyll is a bit more yellow toned than, what was it, Gravity from Angie's palette. So there's those two there. Other than that though, there's really not much overlap between. Yeah, there's not at all. I think this was a great addition to the Kaleidos brand. It's got like similarities to what they've already done, but it's not anything the same. It's almost like a good sister palette to what you already have. Because I think I would reach for this palette almost to like use with Angie's palette. You know? Let's see, I'm seeing what the chat's saying. I hemmed and hawed for too long. Oh, you missed out on the Nebula. I think if you missed out on Nebula, this would be one to consider. Because I feel like it gives me like same vibes, you know, because it's got like the grungy tones, it's got the colorful color story. If anything, I think for me, Angie's palette is probably a little bit better, just for me and what I typically look for. But I like the fact that I have both, because I could use them together. I cannot wait to use the shade Sun Gazer, though. That looks so... That's just like liquid gold. But it's got like a certain green tinge to it. That looks so beautiful. Okay, let's get into what I think is worth it. Okay, what's the tea, sis? What's worth it? What's not worth it? Let me click over to... I'm like organizing myself so I don't get anything confused. But I hope those comparisons were helpful for you guys. So let's go over to the website itself and look at prices, look at all that shit, right? All right, so we've got the full punk full set. It's $139. I think if you're interested in like more than one product, fuck it, why not? You know? It's just like, why not? I do need to apply a lip product. I need to figure out which one I want to use. I think I want to use the shade maybe Mahogany. No, let's go with, like the nudes would be where I would live. Which one do I want to use? And then we'll get into the pricing comparisons. I'll use... I'm trying to remember what they all looked like. I should have kept these on my hands. No, let's do like the darker ones, because I haven't tried these ones yet. I feel like the nudes, it's like when you tried one, you tried it. I'll use Mahogany today, or... No, we'll use Dahlia. All right, now that you guys just listen to me ponder with myself which one I want to use, let's go back to what we were talking about, shall we? So I think if you're interested in more than one product, that is like a significant price point, like going from $36 if you're just interested in the palette. So this is going to be just a question that you have to ask for you. Would I consider purchasing the whole collection? I would consider it now that I have everything and I've had the ability to try everything. But if I had not had that ability, I would not have purchased the whole collection. I probably would have purchased like the Flower Punk palette, and then I probably would have purchased like the nude, the Sandcastles, just because I know that I like nudes. But I'm like, maybe I would have gotten the FLORA NOIR if it was... I feel like this is more of my vibe for like fall winter, because it's got those deeper, like more rich shades to it. So if I'm going into it, I'd be like, all right, the Blue Agave Softening Lip Mask, it's cute, it's $8, maybe I'll throw it in my cart. Okay? But then I would look at the whole collection itself and say, all right, do I need a coloring book? I could hand it off to Jocelyn, which that's what I'll do with mine. So yeah, fuck it, why not? It's only $5. The Flower Punk temporary tattoos, is that something that I need? I've got tattoos. No, I don't need those. It's just like a cool thing. The Flower Punk dresser, it's one of those things like, do you see yourself like using this? Do you see yourself showcasing it? Because It is cute. I won't lie. It is cute. It's like cardboard. So it's like, I mean, for like a makeup case, it is nice. Like, it is good quality. But would I pay $49 for this? I don't think that I would. That's a lie. I know that I would not. I know that I would not pay for that. Okay? So I would say, if I'm going to say anything is the most worth it, it's, like, I think this lip mask, like, I still feel it on my lips. It does feel very nice. How long have we been on here for? So I've been talking for the past 50 minutes, and I still feel it on my lips. So it does feel very nice. So it's just ultimately going to be one of those things. What is the most appealing to you? Okay? I think prices are fair. I do think the, like, I'm kind of surprised at the $48 price point on the little, like, gift box. I'm not going to lie. But let's show you guys how this applies on my lips real quick. Let me pull over my mirror again. This is the winner, though, for just for me. So I'm going to use the shade Dahlia from the darker, just so you can see, like, the pigmentation. Actually, let me wipe off my lips first as well, just so we have no, like, interference. I think the bundle without the mini dresser is a very good price. Oh, actually, I didn't see that. Fuck, I missed it. Hold on. Oh, yeah. Okay. Yes. Let's jump back. That, yes, the Flower Punk full set without the dresser, $94. That would probably be what I would get if I were to have bought this with my own money. That would be, because I think that's fair. Even if they were to do, like, a bundle without, like, the coloring book and the stickers, or not the stickers, the temporary tattoos, that would even be worth it. I mean, I might have entertained, like, the liquid lipsticks with the lip mask. You know what? That's exactly what I would have done. I would have bought that full set without the dresser. Yep. 100%, because that would have made it, like, video worthy. So if you're a creator that wants to feature this collection, that would probably be the best bang for your buck, I think. Let's go in. Just so you guys could see actually how it applies, the pigmentation. This lip doesn't at all go with this look right now, but it's all good. Oh my god, I hate the way that my skin looks right now. It looks so heavy in real life. Oh my god. The pressure's on to get a good line with these two lip applicators. I love these applicators. Shannon must have just got home. I do notice that I have to dunk a couple times to get, like, the full pigmentation that I'm looking for. Fucking dogs, man. You'd think they never saw their father before. I just think you need to ultimately add, like, multiple layers to see how it's, like, it's not, like, patchy, it's just not completely covered. Because whenever I think of patchy for a lip product, it just has, like, a certain look to it, and this doesn't have it. It's just like, all right, we just need a little bit better coverage. I don't know, it's weird. But I mean, I guess you would say, like, no, bitch, it's just patchy. Because, like, right now, looking at my lips, I'm like, I see more coverage right here than I do over here. I don't love that. So it's almost like I have to continue to work with it. Yeah, I would think using this shade, like, if you look at it like this, you're like, all right, it's pretty. Oh my god. They distract me so much when they start barking like that. So I would say, just with using this one, I'm like, all right, Monet situation, it's fine. It is. Carolina just asked, is it a little sheer? It's definitely sheer. If you're expecting full pigmentation, don't bother, because you're not going to get that. You're going to have to work with it to manipulate it to get it to lay evenly. At least I do. So I would say, oh my god, Remo, stop barking! I think that ultimately, I'm like, this doesn't lay the way that I would want it to for a more bold lip. Because a bold lip, you can pick it up so quickly. Like, if you saw this in real life, you'd be like, it's darker on this side. It just doesn't lay perfectly flat. So ultimately, I'm just like, I don't know if I love that. The nudes, it's easier because it's like easier to not notice it, if that makes sense. Let's see, do you feel a lip pencil is necessary or will it bleed? I think it would be a good idea. I'm one of those people now, a lip pencil makes such a big difference for my lips, so I always use a lip pencil. I didn't today just so you could see exactly what this looks like. But I think if you have a lip pencil, that's more ideal for this formula, so you don't have to keep layering it and then running into that issue that I just had. Does that make sense? I wonder if it's kiss proof. I'll let it dry down a little bit and then I'll do like a kiss test. I don't think that it is though, just how it feels on my lips. It feels like a suede. It feels very comfortable on the lips. I really like the way that it feels. Mrs. Unnecessary said it makes my teeth look white. It's cute. I would just say, like, if you're using these lips, use a lip liner. All right, kiss test. We ready? Let's do it on this one. Oh, no, it's, like, way better than I thought it was going to be. Way better than I thought it was going to. That was a pleasant surprise. I'm like, it does not feel. It almost feels, like, powdery. Yeah, it totally does. Like, look at that. That's, hold on. Let me get a clean finger. I'm like a savage right now. Oh my god, this is actually like a good way to, if you don't apply it evenly, like it still transfers a little bit. But it just makes it lay like a little bit softer. But that, like, I'm actually rubbing my lips right now. And it feels very comfortable. Very, very comfortable. And yes, it definitely does. It makes your lips look super smooth. I think that's one really nice thing about this formula is she looking smooth. She cute. I like this collection. Ooh, sorry for that accidental zoom. Rachel. Yes, is it a punk collection? I think so. I think it's something that you could definitely make punk. Like with this look now, you wouldn't probably think that, but I think with, especially like having that like funky blue color in this collection, I think the more that I like look at this, I'm like, I kind of like this collection. So other than that, guys, that's everything that I have to offer for you for this collection specifically. I think it's a great collection. I think it's really different for my collection as well, but if I were to pick a fave, I gotta go with this because I do think for the color story, the expectation that I had that I was going to have a lot of overlap like within different palettes, it was a pleasant surprise for me to not have like duplicates in my collection. It almost like fits in the middle of what I already have, so I do like that aspect of it. So other than that, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you guys did, don't forget to thumbs it up or thumbs it down if you didn't like it. Subscribe if you're new, and I will see you guys in my next one. And I may do a pack with me before I leave. We shall see. Nothing guaranteed, but I'll let you know when you'll see me again. If you don't see me again this week, you definitely won't see me next week. I'll be back the following week because we going on vacation, baby. Okay, bye!